Live on Twitch, waiting on YouTube. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. It's time. Put an end to things.
I
After
see the
all,
Cheetle
yeah,
is once again the skull, and Ned Leeds is
this
just
poster is really underwhelming. This poster's really
and
lame. Like, you see that skull in the center was just gold with some stuff hanging off it. It wasn't like in the previous films, it's always been like Jack's skull with his bandana and his, head stuff hanging off. But here it's just a skull with some crap hanging off of it. It doesn't have Jack's
that's
bandana. It doesn't
lame.
have the braids. It doesn't have, it's
It
just
has nothing.
gold. Just blends in. It's like they picked the text based on the fact that they wanted a big teal background.
Of course. And I believe and how deep is your salt mine? And before we get to the starting
Oh.
this movie.
Oh no, I already stated that in the description.
Hold
And
on,
foreshadowed quite quite
At
heavily
last we come to the
previously.
end of the adventures of the Sparrow for now. I'm not bitter. I'm lying, I am.
Yeah.
You haven't
Yeah.
elaborated on how deep the salt mine goes.
Oh, it goes all the way down. It goes further
This-
down than that pit Big D jumped down last night. You don't get that reference, but it's okay.
No, I don't. Anyway, now would this movie have been better if Stephen Yeun and Jeffrey Dean Morgan were in it?
I have a feeling it probably would have been easier to handle if
How
it
do
had
you
just
figure?
been well, if they'd been like a couple of like wacky pirates doing wacky pirate things, as I can imagine you would probably envision them as, I'd be down with that. But this film does something different. This film rather ineptly attempts to recapture some of the things that happened in the first three films.
No
And
surprises there.
and it's not even like it's, going for member berries like the last film did. It's just it's inept is what it is.
I'm sure.
It's full
So,
modern day Disney, full on 2017 Disney. At
all
least they
right.
didn't.
So,
At least it's just continuity problems with this. It's not like they ruined Jack as a character, even though I'm
all
sure they
right.
wanted to.
So we're all set and ready to go.
We're set and ready to go in 3, 2, 1. And yes, we are flying solo today. Jarrett is off at a arcade expo. Sonic is doing his taxes. Gizmo is currently still abducted by aliens. I hope he's alright, because he hasn't been answering my messages for a couple of days now.
Yep. And look, just like the live action Disney remakes, we have to do something about that castle there.
Yeah, this castle is a better render than it was in the previous film, but this is, it's still, you know?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, and we're about to start getting into some hardcore continuity fuck-ups here, both in terms of, like, previous Pirates of the Caribbean films and previously established canon from, well, literally every previous Pirates tie-in.
Sorry, my
Needless
thing
dramatic
wasn't
shot of a map.
my thing wasn't plugged into it, so I apologize for any audio leakage on my end.
I didn't even notice at first, but yeah, good thing you caught that before it got loud.
Yep.
Now, you see, there's something about shooting something like this where you can obviously tell it's CGI, like that big tower is like a big CGI shot, And I don't know what it is. If it's like the way it Dopplers against the background, if it's the parallaxing of things behind it.
Parallax? I
Uh,
didn't know Clancy Brown was in this movie.
not that, but yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, sure, Kit, because Elizabeth would totally allow you to do this.
Yeah, spoiler warning. Oh yeah, Mecha Tengu says hello. Yeah. Also,
Hi.
this is causing continuity problems with the previous film, well, previous two films,
Well, he's already
because
gonna be dead by water pressure.
yeah, because it's been a few. It had already been a few years between, because we saw this kid in the end of Pirates of the Caribbean 3 in the post-credits sequence, and then it was an additional few years between that sequence and it might have been an additional few years between that sequence and Pirates 4, or it could have just been that it had been a little bit of time, or maybe Pirates 4 is set between post-credit sequence and oh dear, I've gone cross-eyed.
Don't think about it,
Yeah, so the
Alex.
Flying Dutchman is looking a hell of a lot like it used to back in the day, even though the
Even though
curse
it
was
was
broken.
seemingly.
So, yeah, Orlando Bloom's not looking so hot these days.
No. I'm starting to be
Dad,
covered in
Dad, I saw you just yesterday. You didn't have all those barnacles growing on your face. Have you been sleeping at the bottom of the ocean again? You're the captain of the ship, Will. Okay. Okay. It kind of reminds me of the, center of the universe from Thor 4. Yeah, he's not exactly difficult to find, though. That's... Eh. Yeah, you can play the Zimmer, Will, and Elizabeth theme all you want. It's not going to distract me from the fact that this plot is bullshit. No, it's not. The only reason Davy was... The only reason Davy Jones was cursed like that was because he couldn't come back to sea because his fucking girlfriend betrayed him.
yeah.
And as
Plus
we'll see by
Elizabeth
the
is
end of the... We'll see by the end of this film, Elizabeth didn't do that.
no.
We never find out why this happened.
9 years
We...
later.
Yeah. So... We're now, like, 17... It's like 7 real... Yeah, it's like 7 real-life years... No, 6 real-life years since the previous Pirates of the Caribbean film. At this point... At this point, I'd feel more, assured if Henry was, like, a privateer or something. Like if he was... Like if he was a mercenary. Like a mercenary captain, you know? Because his mom is the Pirate King.
Yes.
It's like they forget that his like that was really badly edited. Yeah, almost like you should be in a higher position than you are now
Yeah.
due to your relation to you know, the captain of the Dutchman and your mother being king of the pirates. Yeah, this is another.
Elizabeth
Oh,
Elizabeth Swann became
that's a
king
good
of the
move.
pirates. It's far faster than Monkey D. Luffy
She
it
kind
would
of,
ever
and she
do.
became king of the pirates by accident.
Yeah.
This is a
I mean,
really stupid way to
I mean,
engineer an action scene, too.
yeah.
They're just trying to create. All they're trying to do is create,
I'd be like,
tension and.
retards. Do not go in.
Oh, Turner. Like he's. That's promotional art from one of the books, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, hang on. I think that renders from Pirates of the. Sorry, not from Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm pretty sure that render is from Kingdom Hearts. No, he's not. San Martin. Excuse me, I've actually done my research on this stuff.
So how dead do you think they are?
Well, our, our old pal Javier Bardem is waiting for them in here, so. Uncharted Waters. Oh dear, we're going to run into Nathan Drake. Yeah, the pirates you were chasing are all dead. In about 5 minutes. Probably should have listened to the kid who is a scholar about the myths of the sea. You guys remember that big typhoon that happened with all the crabs? Feels like
Yeah.
that kind of thing should have been recorded. Yeah. I will say, this film has something of a better look to it than the previous. In terms of, like, they have decent color contrast, and they're not clearly just framing shots for the 3D and whatnot. But, excuse me, it still doesn't have, and they do still have, like, a slightly better color palette. But it's not, they don't really recapture the old look of the Pirates of the Caribbean original trilogy, so to speak.
Yeah.
And that does have to do with the fact that this film is not shot on film once more.
And
Oh, yeah.
here we get soon to waste his career on a live action remake.
Of The Little Mermaid, in which he had significantly worse visual effects applied to him than he does here. That's an awful lot of blood for a PG-13 in this day and age.
Yep.
We're just assembling stuff from the big book of cliched dialogue, aren't we? I think that literally is just from the big book of cliched dialogue. Yeah. This is Captain Salazar, played by
As
Javier Bardem, who is in 2 films that are completely pointless. Like I said, this and the Little Mermaid remake. But he looks significantly better in this. His face isn't... Even though his entire body kind of looks like it's floating, his face doesn't look like it's detached from the rest of his body like it did in The Little Mermaid. So
yeah.
that's something.
Even though you would think it would.
Uh. Oh, would you look at that? We've got a bunch of wanted posters of Captain Jack Sparrow. Why do you have more than one? You'd think that you'd only need one. Maybe you could have, like, a poster of wanted William Turner, wanted Bootstrap Bill Turner, wanted Joshua Gibbs. These are really cool monster designs. It's a shame they're wasted on this film. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Am I to be your number one guy? Oh, God, no. Like, seriously?
That might have actually been a clever line. Unfortunately, it's caught up in this miasma of nonsense.
Missed opportunity to actually have the burning ship properly transition to the title card, but no.
No.
Heaven forbid. And wizardry?
Maybe even warlockery. Oh, would you look at this? This is the mid 1800s. Witch hunting wasn't a thing at this point, really. Okay, yeah. Here's our female lead for the movie today.
Yep.
So this is a really old gag, by the way. This is not something that they created.
Joaquin Ronning is the director of this movie, as well as Espen Sandberg.
Hmm. First time we've had two people directing a project like this.
And more often than not, has collaborated with Espen Sandberg.
Yeah. I don't know any of these films.
Nope.
Apparently they're Norwegian.
Yes.
From Sweden. Yeah. I will say this is a good gag, even if it isn't a new one.
I'm surprised Jack didn't suffocate in there.
Those old vaults were not airtight. Yeah, the comedic timing is still a little bit off.
So he happened to have gotten drunk and somehow landed himself inside of a safe.
See, it would have been funnier if he just said, "Pirates, where?"
Hey, Marty Kleba!
I can't think straight when I'm sober. I'm terribly sorry. I don't. Never mind about that, trollop.
Close the vault, Jack.
Close the vault, Jack.
He
Come
then
on, Jack.
proceeds to not
Jack.
close the bank.
Jack. God damn it, Jack. Yeah,
I
so
am just
we're now
after the
about to
woman.
attempt to recreate the vault scene from Fast and Furious 5, but in medieval times. See, this is the point at which they start trying to write into the stuff that was kind of spontaneous before. I feel like it would have worked out better.
Yeah, that's what happens
Yeah.
when you don't close the vault door.
Yeah, see here, right here, I feel like this would have worked out a lot better if they'd have simply played things a little bit more straight rather than doing what they're trying to do here, which is, they have the vault be empty when they get done escaping with it. Because you could have had Jack turn and say, well, that wasn't part of the plan, and slam the safe door shut and then start using like whatever he gets to hack away at the building so that they can get the vault free. Because this is a good gag. It's just like, in principle, it's a good idea. I'm just not laughing as much as I had back in the previous films, you know? Because it's like, they're trying to make it bigger, more exciting, and it's... Starboard, that only works when you're on a boat. I saw the edge of the green screen clipping through the barrel there, guys. What? Nobody... That's not how that works. Uh-huh. A watch, you mean? That's a good one. That right there. I like that. Okay, yeah, so this is set 21 years after the end of Pirates of the Caribbean 3. But before the flash forward.
Aga?
Oh, okay. I was under the impression this was the 1800s. This is actually
Written and
1751
directed by
by
Zack
Zack
Snyder.
Snyder. Yeah. God, that effect was terrible.
Yeah, you're right. Zack Snyder would not have directed a shot that bad.
In
In hindsight,
theory, this would be a good gag. In theory, this entire sequence can work. In
well,
practice, it doesn't. Yeah, the whole tribute thing. Yeah, can't help but remember that none of that showed up in the previous films. How has it been however many years since you got thank you, Captain Exposition. How have you not fixed the fucking pearl by now? Come on, Jack was always finding cool shit before this. Why did we cut to this camera angle? That doesn't follow. Yeah, they just want to all they want to do is get Jack to a low point so that they can do something stupid.
but Mama didn't raise no quitters. They will then proceed to sail with Captain Jack Sparrow again in the near future.
Yeah, that's a
I think
really bad shot. This is the kind of thing Gore Verbinski would not have fucking stood for.
what the hell?
How do you how do you how do you prove that? How do you prove that?
They're insane in the membrane.
I mean, if they got attacked by pirates, one of them could have very easily ripped his sleeves and told him to go back. Why did you not just ditch your fucking jacket, Henry? What? How? A quick question. How are you, like, this much of a flat earther in a world with zombies, walking skeletons, shrunken ships, fucking Blackbeard in the last film? Okay. It appears that... Yeah. Okay, so according to what I've found here, the British did not... the British were not the ones commencing witch hunts in the Caribbean in the 1750s. That was the Spanish, and the Spanish were not allowed in British territory. How did they find out who she was?
They have their ways, Alex.
Hang on, how did... I know he comes from, like, you know, a grand pedigree of scalawags, but how the hell did Henry Turner get out of his fucking bonds?
So, are we gonna have to queue up a
That's a good
violin
one, Jack.
rendition of Boulevard of Broken Dreams?
Oh, would you look at that? It appears that there's a little spot of intrigue. Once again, I can believe that this would be a good gag, but this is the kind of thing that should be happening in Jack's nightmares, not in real life. That's that's an ADR line. That's an ADR line as well.
Uh,
That tells me that this was reshoots. I have to admit, I've watched this film twice before this, and I didn't have time to go over the audio in great detail. But no,
but now
no,
you do.
that was that was not on-set audio. Granted, you know, it very well could have been what was scripted, but knowing Disney, probably fucking not.
Here comes the sun, do 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 do. Here comes
So,
the
how
sun.
exactly does him giving up the compass cause that? Hey, that compass is clean all of a sudden. That tells me something massive changed. Either that or they just didn't have any on-set continuity. What? Yeah, like he did a couple of times earlier. Knowing Jack, I mean, he's probably gonna come back after hours and steal everything that's in that basket. Because he's Jack Sparrow. Is that Eddie Redmayne?
Who knows?
I can't tell through all that makeup.
He was not in this movie, no.
Uh, I guess he's just a generic-looking British man. You know, bass boosting Javier Bardem's voice is not... Yeah, look at that! The compass is almost entirely clean. Jack! Hang on, Jack, did you just have a shower? Oh, hi, Henry. Oh, that's convenient, or inconvenient. They weren't looking for him. Not here. You have them looking for 3 separate fugitives, and they just happen to stumble upon one. Well, 2 at this point.
Yep.
They shouldn't have been looking for him here. They should have been looking for him somewhere else, not... Like, maybe somebody goes to the bar and sees him there, rather than... Man... You're wasting a lot of fresh water, buddy.
What the fuck am I looking at?
That's a really cool little image there.
Oh, thank goodness. It was just a figment of my imagination.
So, quick question. How the hell is that? Just punch it. How the hell is that ship staying together when it's kind
It
of
just
wobbling around?
is.
Okay.
It just is,
Hang on,
Alex.
hang on, hang on, hang on. They let her keep that.
Apparently.
The thing that she used to pick the fucking lock earlier. Why haven't you escaped by now? Why did they let you keep the book? You weren't holding the book earlier. Use the thing to pry. Oh, never mind. Oh no, there's gonna be math involved. I will try, but words cannot express the contempt I have for this film.
Alex, the salt mine, we barely dug into it.
Just look for him, dumbass!
I'm looking for a pirate named Johnny Depp.
He looks exactly like he does in the posters that you've had. The pants are hung up on the rack over there to make him look like it's him. Waiting my whole life for just one. What?
What? And why should I care?
Why do you have both hands on it and
Yes. I
he had two
mean,
hands on that and then he had one.
Sparrow, you are seeing definitive proof that William is no eunuch.
Jack, 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 Jack. You know that cleavage is painted on. No shade to Keira Knightley. Which Mr. Salazar is going to need for his role in the next film.
The next film.
The Little Mermaid.
Oh.
Stop taking the piss out of me, Jack. Meh. That's not what he told you, though. Why would you tell him to tell him that? Why do you think that that's true? This plot makes no fucking sense.
Meanwhile,
Hi, Barbosa.
You know how much fancier he looks.
Yeah. Golden crusted egg leg. Chamber musicians doing their best to drown out the idiots. How do you know that? Oh, right, it leaves one man alive. Never mind. I'm sorry, that was a stupid question. I'm in attack mode.
How many attack points are you sporting?
It goes up the longer the movie gets and the stupider it is.
So let's see.
I have a feeling that was added in ADR because they didn't know. They thought that
This
the
film
audience was
is
too
this
stupid
film
to
this
interpret
film is
this.
2 hours 9 minutes long,
Uh,
and we are at
so here we have a real witch.
nearly 40 minutes.
Hey, another thing that we might have wanted to see on screen. We could make an entire animated television series out of Barbossa's off-screen adventures. And Jack's as well, let's be frank, but you know. Why did you burn the rat? Rat didn't do nothing to you.
Part it's part of her little experiment.
Oh, you burned the rat so you could get cable television. Okay. Barbossa will die before he touches grass. That's... Uh... Okay, how the fuck did you get that? That... Mm. Disney, I fucking hate you. It's a good question for another time.
So the music is done by Jeff Zanelli.
Yeah, he does a good job. No Hans Zimmer, but, you know. Oh, it's Paul McCartney!
Is he gonna start singing?
Jack just shaking his head at that was funnier than any of the other stuff Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Sir Paul McCartney.
He then proceeds to sing Live and Let Die.
I think it might be time to live and let die. Thank you, Uncle Jack. That's not particularly helpful right now. The guillotine was invented in 1791. We are 40 years too early for this!
Yep. So, anachronism stew.
And I know there's been anachronisms in this fucking series before, but come on! You don't care! You don't give a shit! It's the little things. You're giving me a bowl full of brown M&Ms again.
I see some burnt Skittles.
This is one of those burnt Skittles I was talking about.
And
Wouldn't you take the head out? Also, that's clearly a rubber head. That's a good one. There was only one head in the wide shot.
shut the fuck up.
Okay, now we have Henry showing off some of his skills. I like that. That's fair. This is like, get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
Get with it.
Unfortunately, it's okay. It would have been neat for us to see how he arranged all of this. Okay, I have to say, this is my favorite gag in the entire thing. Because this is this is
His head
actually
keeps
really,
getting close.
really good.
Oh, he tried. Ah! A Lannister always repays his debts.
Why didn't you use your sword? Cut the rope. Cut the rope. Falling apart like an Angry Birds project.
Yep.
Mhm. That's also dubbed in. You just didn't even bother looking behind you. Yeah, so we needed to get the fourth movie of Captain Jackass. This is Pirates of the Caribbean 5, so I mean, I'm Jack Sparrow and welcome to Jackass. I can imagine that. I'd like to see that.
Oh boy. Okay, now we're back on track. I just imagine if this were a Marvel movie, the gag would go on a little bit longer.
Yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean at least generally knows when to end a fucking joke.
Meanwhile, thousands of miles
Yeah, they
away.
yeah, they Here's the thing, we could have had a scene between Will and the old crew, where they're like, "Oh, what the hell? What the hell are we going to do about this?" Is like Jack screwed us over and then Henry is like, "Like, come on, guys, let's go help Jack. Jack's the man." And I was like, "Oh, well, all right, Well, even if it had just been as simple as that, that could have been so fucking cool. But they had nothing. Hey, Kevin, do you remember Monster House?
Why, yes, yes, I do.
Yeah, I'm reminded of it. How exactly do you control something like that with the ship, unless it's with the wheel, except, no. I be asking for parley. Oh, Captain Jackass's Pirates YTP? We should watch that at some point. Excuse me?
Why, hello there, Hector Barbosa. Me name be Capitan Salazar. I highly doubt that. Hola!
You're literally not giving me any chance to speak.
There is nothing, literally nothing.
No mention of parlay.
I am not a fan of the Sokovia Accords.
Yeah.
I hear they resulted in a really lame plot for an otherwise awesome movie.
I, you know, the Sokovia Accords ruined the Marvel Cinematic Universe for a couple of reasons. The Dying Gull. Jack, you could have at least picked a more optimistic name. There were literally mermaids! How do you not believe in this stuff? I know we don't have, like, video cameras like we do nowadays. But come on. She's... Okay.
Meanwhile, thousands of miles away, That's precious. I wonder if they'll end up inadvertently following the Star of Bethlehem. To which then Gohan's like Jesus is born? Yeah. Only instead of Jesus, it's a giant monkey. I don't see how that
Monkey.
It
What?
had to be one of my favorite jokes in the TFS Dragon Ball Z Christmas special.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Son, tell me.
Lucas. I like how Jack has kind of learned from his encounter with Will. Is like, nah, I'm not gonna
It's
fucking
like,
play around. It was like, no, I'm just gonna pull the pistol.
sure you want.
Of what? like, like the Kraken.
Like ghosts.
Yes. Yeah. And unlike Ray from Star Wars, you'll actually find yours.
Yeah, and it'll be a good movie for once.
Uh, why are we cutting so much in this sequence? Can't hold a man hostage with the blunt end of a sword.
Flashback.
Cue flashback. Yeah. I kind of feel like this might maybe could have been the main plot set in the present time rather than a flashback, you know?
Kaboom! Kaboom!
Yeah, when we get to the name of the ship that he's yep, compass. There's the compass.
Except for when and they chose to stain it. Like seriously, do you know how much time it takes to clean up this
Yeah.
trash.
Why did you... if you wanted to shoot it in slow
Now
motion,
remember,
don't
er,
run it through the frame interpolator!
Alex, uh, Salazar
This is
was looking.
bullshit!
Salazar was eating an apple, thus making him look even more like an
This
asshole.
is just... editing 101, don't do this. Yeah, so here we're about to contradict two major things that happened in both the movies and in the books and the comics. Jack got the compass from Teodama. We know this. It was stated in the previous movies. Hello, slightly melted young Johnny Depp. Probably the worst CGI de-aging I've seen in the entire history of, well, most of Disney's stuff. I will say, it at least looks more like a... Ah! It looks like a deep fake. Remember those deep fakes from back in the day where they used to, like, take an image and, like, make it that song from Yakuza? Or something like that? Uh-huh. Yep. Yeah, keep in mind that this encounter on this ship, this happened... Jack was the... This was a merchant vessel, not a pirate vessel. Jack was working for the East India Company when this happened. He became captain not after this encounter. Because, yeah, this is the ship that's going to become the Black Pearl. The Wicked Wench. The Wicked Wench was a merchant vessel.
Arrgh.
Yeah, here we... Just, you know... I will say, it looks more like a young Johnny Depp than de-aged, Samuel L. Jackson looked like a young Sam Jackson in Captain Marvel,
Yeah.
but the tracking is so much more off. Why would this encounter be Jack's greatest fear? This would just be another thing to Jack.
Yeah, feather in his cap.
Yeah, this is like, these guys aren't Jack's greatest fear. To him, it was Tuesday.
Yep, yep. They're definitely, this film should have been called Retcons Alters All Tales.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I was just reading the chat.
Oh, that's in the chat? Yeah, oh, thank you, Realist Metal. Yep. Yeah, and here's the callback to the stupid thing from earlier. Is that supposed to be his dad? Don't tell me that's supposed to be a young Keith Richards. Eh. Jingle those fucking keys, guys. Oh, my keys are over on the other side of the room. I'm not gonna go up and grab them now, but...
Yeah.
You get a sarcastic clap instead.
Yep.
Just shit all over my investment in this series. Just, me and everybody else who read the novels, read the comics, read the video game, played the video games, role played in the Pirates of the Caribbean universe in a tabletop game we made ourselves.
I wonder how your friends and offline friends felt about how the
We
you're
didn't like it.
on this. So they saw you flipping tables.
We didn't like it. That was a good joke, but I'm too pissed off by that sequence to acknowledge it with laughter.
Longitude. Eh. I still kind of criticize a lot of how certain words with the letter G are pronounced in some other things.
Hmm.
I still get on the MHA Japanese version for pronouncing the phrase anything to do with ingenuity or whatnot as ingenium. I'm like, no, it's ingenium. Yes.
you, you, you can choose not to believe in the supernatural. That does not mean that
I'm
the supernatural doesn't believe it. Excuse me, you.
Well, here's an interesting thing. In Bleach, even though Yuzu and Kari in Ichigo's sisters can also see ghosts, Karin chooses not to believe in them despite the fact that she could see them and interact with them.
Zombie sharks.
Well, at least she's well, at least she's
Hmm. This is a cool idea. It's just a shame it's in this movie.
yep.
Where did you get the zombie sharks from? Because you guys are clearly not zombies. You're like
They got them
cursed,
from the
burned creatures.
they got them off the they got them auctioned off the internet.
Oh, okay. It would have made more sense if they were like burned, but the stuff that they're missing doesn't look like it's burned like these guys were. Although, it's kind of funny that with the designs of the villains in this, I feel like they should have been
Wow.
I kind of feel like they should have, Jack should have, beaten these guys in a volcano or something. And had the ash raining down on them burn them up, you know? But the origin that we see is not just incongruent with the way the way the characters are designed, but also with, the continuity of the entire series. And I know people love to try and bitch at you if you care about continuity these days, but, like, Free
Hmm.
Willy ate your heart out.
Where's the Michael Jackson song and that one asshole eating popcorn?
Why are the sharks cursed and some of them followed ship into the cursed place? That's a good question, Realist Metal.
Vamoose. They're pirate Jesus.
That was not Johnny Depp saying that line. Or if it was, he was, like, dubbing it again.
Maybe he was drunk.
Eh. Now, this right here had me wondering if, like, how Disney came up with some of these ideas. Because I would have sworn that this was exactly something that happened in a different, pirate-themed thing. Not that I don't appreciate it, it's the kind of thing Jack Sparrow should definitely be doing, but that was you pulling him over the wrong side of the boat, but okay. Feel like that was cut a little bit too early, but okay. Why isn't she as sandy as they are? Granted, they did not
Because
impact
she
the way she did not
because
impact the way they did, but
because she isn't Sandy Cheeks.
oh,
Because remember, or the only part of her that would be Sandy are her cheeks.
oh, that's incredibly original. Unable to step out of the surf. This is just reinforcing my idea that this can't possibly be Jack's greatest fear.
Oh, great, the British Royal Navy.
How did you not see them earlier, Joshua? Why isn't that further zoomed out so we could see the hat? Okay. Okay. Hmm.
Oh, bugger.
That's a reference to... God damn it, I knew this at one point. I remember I called it out the first time I watched this film. I was like, that's a reference to this treasure story. And now I just don't remember. Why did you subtitle that line, Disney? It cost you
Why
nothing.
indeed? Oh, that's certainly an interesting creature.
Hmm.
Is this perhaps...
Is that the Kraken, maybe? That would be an incredible coincidence, though. Funny how we've never seen him before.
Yeah. Oh dear. A very handsome man.
Okay, then.
Or we'll make sweet, sweet monkey love with a monkey screeching every time we thrust.
If Jack puts his hand on the Bible, he might explode. God, I know the, I know the makeup artist had a hell of a time with that.
Oh,
Acted.
yeah, that'll do greatly. No, seriously, I'm actually grateful for that. You gotta shoot me, then.
How 5 years? It's been 5 years since the last movie. I guess it was 6 years in real life, so. It took you 5 years to not make a film. It took you 5 years to not get the pearl out. It took you 5 years to figure out that stabbing it with Blackbeard's sword was all you had to do. Jack screaming like an expectant mother. Get it to the water, 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 Jack. That was a good gag. Well, now you've got to go get it, Barbosa. Good luck swimming with that one leg of yours.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah, it would have been nice if we'd have seen this happen 2, 3 years ago.
Later down the line. Seriously? No one? The British are coming. The British are coming. The British are coming. Why? Why?
maybe, maybe you'll eventually create a world where science and technology are one.
Meanwhile, Well,
Oh dear.
let me tell you a little something.
Defending your father's honor to his face.
Something like
Oh
that.
dear. I love the realization on Barbossa's face is like, oh fuck. Oh dear. Oh no.
And Jack be like, oh, so there's some leverage I could potentially exploit. I think Barbossa actually loved something other than himself. Who would have seen that coming?
Mm-hmm.
It's unexpected, but it does help with his character in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Peggy.
I can tell that that was done on like an on-set radio mic or something like that. Why didn't they dub that line if they've dubbed a bunch of other stuff? Which will is approximately 1 day's worth. You want to eat an undead monkey?
The British Royal Navy is on us. Oh, great. So the British are coming.
You know, I'm a bit less concerned about the technological inaccuracies in, say, Captain America than I am in with the ones in this, because Captain America is a science fiction movie. Like, the Nazis had the Tesseract to help them build stuff more efficiently, you know? Whereas, you know, I don't imagine magic helping anybody create a guillotine, you know? Eh, this is cool. I wish they would have been able to do more with this.
Indeed.
Why are you broadsiding them when you could have just eaten them too?
I know you're here. It's this big. So nearly as big as your microscopic penis.
That's a good one.
You know, if they were gonna use butter, they should have dumped it into a sock. You know
So
why?
what? Yeah. So what happened to the Queen Anne's Revenge, by the way?
Oh yeah, because that's very helpful. Well, that's just freaky.
So where did that big motherfucker come from? How is Jack not dead?
Because he's Captain Jack Sparrow.
Eh. I mean, like, for a bunch of the other stuff that happens, it's like, but that was a cannon coming straight at his chest, you know?
Hmm. You ever take Maisie for a walk? Okay. AJ.
That is not a sound a sword makes by itself. How did you see that? Oh, damn it. Sorry about that, I bumped my microphone. They're just doing a bunch of potentially irreparable damage to both ships now.
It'll be fine.
That that shot was straight out of like 300. Hell, Justice League or BVS. That was a Zack Snyder shot right there, is what I was trying to say. Is like that big
Yeah.
crash zoom out. That's a lot of fucking jewels.
Yep.
That was all we were here for. We'd be set for life. Fortunately, if we just took the jewels, we wouldn't have very long lives. That's impossible, but
Go
sure.
on.
Like, and there's like certain kinds of impossibility, you know? Like, there's impossible is like that's like physically possible, metaphorically possible. This is just impossible in terms of like the stars, the skies, the orbits, everything is so constantly shifting that this would just be impossible.
I'm right here, you know. Hey, look, it's that thing that was totally established in other movies, except
Yeah.
no, it wasn't. So, do you remember how Moses' staff have had parted the Red Sea?
Yeah, I remember that.
This feels like a poor man's rendition of that.
Yeah, a little bit. Now, we best be getting down there, using that trident so we can put it back. Because I hear Mr. Momoa is going to be needing it in a few hundred years. Yeah, he just literally copied one of the most famous set pieces from a film that almost everybody knows. At the very least, people know that story.
Yeah, people know the story of Exodus. It's just
Yeah.
some
If
people, it's just depending on who you ask, you could be either talking about Ten Commandments or you could be talking about
Prince of
Prince of
Egypt.
Egypt.
How do you know that? How do you know that you've been trapped with the dead forever?
No, except yes. What is that? Hey, amigo, what is that supposed to mean?
That's almost not a trident. How did you get here that quickly? That, you know, we're just not doing a very good job of establishing anything in this film, are we?
No.
It says a lot when the best established part of this plot is Karina's relationship with her father.
Yeah.
Which, again, great idea. I actually really like that. And aside from a couple of hiccups earlier on, I like Karina as a character.
Yeah.
She's not
She's
she's
not
not
as utterly incompetent as Angelica.
yeah, she's not incompetent, she's not perfect. She gets her ass kicked, she makes some mistakes. She does things that she probably shouldn't have. And she believes things that definitely she shouldn't. But she works as a character, and that's part of why.
Hola, mi amigo.
Capable, but flawed. And this is why I made the comparison between her and Rey. Modern era Disney female protagonists. At the very least, they had a fucking plan for her. that that was that could have been funny, but that was just really badly shot. You
Yeah.
can get away with a middle finger at a PG-13. He's killing his own men now, by accident. That's... that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
But whatever.
Ooh, the book. Yeah. Yep, and that's gonna lead into a couple of things that are going to happen at the end of this film. One of which doesn't make any goddamn sense. I actually really like the lighting in this scene.
Yep. I'm alive!
Well, now
I'm
we can't have
alive!
Aquaman.
And I get 3 miles to the gallon!
Okay.
It was a Fairly Odd Parents reference.
Ah, okay. And now we have to get out of here before Ramsey's army attacks us. And that means you can die. Ramon.
That means you can die all over again.
How'd they get the pearl unstuck from there?
Hey, Barbosa.
That's fucking awesome. It's not enough to make up for all the bullshit awesome, but that's fucking awesome.
Yep. How do you feel about the man in gauze? The man in gauze? The man in gauze?
Oh, that was a convenient cut right there.
Now we gotta go backwards to the left. Take it back now, y'all.
One hop this time.
One hop this time. Well, isn't that awfully convenient?
I mean, they did hit that outcropping, but yeah, that outcropping was oddly convenient.
Oh,
Ooh,
there's her hint.
that was good.
Yep.
Out of all this film's flaws, that's not one of them.
Yeah, that was an excellent line from Barbosa and great delivery from Jeffrey Rush.
Oh yeah. Makes you shed a tear for Barbosa. Man wasn't no hero, but he.
But he sure as hell died as one.
Yep. If you gotta kill a character, give him a hero's death. That's what I always say.
Yep.
And that's why, with all of its flaws, I'd rather have 100 of these films than the fucking Star Wars sequels any goddamn day of the week.
Yep. And Jack the monkey's like, he's not
Oh.
coming back, is he?
Why are we playing Will and Elizabeth's theme? Where's the big hole?
Yeah, where is it? All right, there's a big hole there,
Uh,
and there,
there.
and there.
Here.
Is that his braid? Aw.
And here we are returning to the hill from the
Leave.
post-credit scene, the end of the third film.
Yep.
Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, looking exactly like it did in the... Yep. Yeah, he looks exactly
There's
like he
well.
did at the end of the third film. The ship looks exactly like it did in the end of the third film, too. Makes you wonder
Yeah.
what happened about that curse. What kind of curse was that? How did he pick up a curse? Why did he start looking more like he was a sea monster? Like, like, you know, Davy Jones did? Where the fuck has Elizabeth been this whole time? Why wasn't she rallying the pirate legions to, to go figure out what the fuck is happening to her husband?
Yeah. Oh.
Uh, well, there's a lot of nonsense along the way, but in the end, hi Elizabeth.
Where were you?
Unavailable on set. I noticed that they're not bothering to draw the now it makes sense for them to be playing Will and Elizabeth's theme, because Will and Elizabeth are here. Quick question, why didn't they just get Keira Knightley to play Dr. Jane Foster in Thor 3? Nobody would have noticed.
Some people would have. They'd be like, "Wait a second, that's not Natalie Portman."
Did the writers forget that she was the Pirate King?
I don't even think it was written by the same people.
Uh, I can check.
Let's see. This movie was written by screenplay by Jeff Nathanson and
Jeff
Terry
Nathanson.
Rossio.
Jeff Nathanson wrote two of the Rush Hour films, Catch Me If You Can, The Terminal. Oh, he wrote Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
And
He
At
wrote
World's End,
he wrote
eh,
the
the
Lion King
only
remake and Mufasa.
the only remake, the only Terry Rossio was the only person that was been on the other movie. Is including
I,
At World's End.
I somehow get the feeling that he was not the primary contributor to this film. Oh, early unproduced screenplay. Yep. Oh. Yeah.
He's like, this is gonna take some getting used to.
Yeah. Jeff Nathanson wrote Speed 2 Cruise Control, Rush Hour 2, Catch Me If You Can, The Terminal, Rush Hour. Rush Hour 2, Rush Hour 3. He did story on Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. 5 out of 10.
Yeah,
Could have
this
been
is still
better.
better than the previous one.
Yeah. He did. Oh, he was an uncredited writer on Men in Black 3. He wrote the new Haunted Mansion movie and Wonka, which is weird. Oh, he was an uncredited writer on those two. That means he probably wrote some dialogue. Eh,
Ba-da-dum, ba-dum. So that concludes our bit on the Pirates films,
Although we do have one semi-related film to watch.
which is why are you singing public domain music? Alex, why are you singing public domain music?
So, you'll have to take that up with the creators of The Lone Ranger.
We're not watching that shit. No.
We already agreed. We said we were
No, we
going to.
didn't.
We already said we were going to.
No, we didn't.
I believe we said it at the end of watching the third film. So that would
No,
make
I
sense. You
wasn't
weren't there.
there.
Yeah.
I wasn't there, and I'm not participating in that.
Well, you can feel free to not participate in it. I'm going to be watching it again at some point.
Well, anyway, the next film series that the Metley crew will be looking at and after this is well, hold on a second.
It was Brenton Thwaites, Jeffrey Rush, K.S. Scoldoliero, Kevin McNally, yeah. All the usual people. Orlando Bloom and
One
Elizabeth
ring to rule them all, one ring to find them, one ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them.
in the Farkness find them.
Darkness bind them.
Oh. Yes. So we're
Yeah.
going to be watching The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings.
Yes. So
Stay
look
tuned for
forward
that. I'm
to
still going through my rewatch of the reread rather of the Harry Potter books so that I can know exactly what the movies fucked up.
Yep. And meanwhile, and join us tomorrow for more or of Bat Ass.
Yes. Until then, we will see you guys later.
We're not we're not at the post credits
Oh, we're
scene
not
yet.
at the post-credit scene yet. I forgot about
I
that. The
know.
post-credit scene is really stupid, guys.
Yep. And Monday we'll be back with the Matt doing more of the Sonic Heroes race. Next Saturday, I don't know what we're doing.
Next Saturday, I think we were gonna be doing Crisis on Two Earths next Saturday, just as a
Oh
little,
yeah, the palette cleanser.
yeah, a
You're
little palate
right.
cleanser, yeah.
Okay, so look forward to seeing a good Crisis movie.
Yes. Yes. Saw an announcement about the Spider Noir series. Apparently they're going to be maybe putting out a black and white version as well as the color version. I'd like to see them do it like limited color, like with Sin City. Excuse me.
Yeah. And it's kind of unfortunate that all we'll just be getting is nothing but Elseworld
Key
stories for
standby prop,
DC.
Matthew Broderick. I presume not that one.
Anyway, it's kind of a shame that we'll no longer get i- any other attempt at a DC cinematic universe in animation. And because it's as it would otherwise be a very good idea, it's just us that it they failed because they were taking the wrong hints of criticism. And then, and of course, now we're just going to be back to a bunch of Elseworld bullshit, and that's going to probably end up being the same thing that goes on with the live action films because Warner Brothers is run by absolute fucking morons.
Hmm. Yeah.
There was more marketing for a goddamn M. M. Bateman commercial than there was for the entirety of fucking Superman, coming out in 4 months, by the way.
Yeah. So here's the post-credits scene.
Yep. Where Will and Elizabeth presumably had quite a bit of nookie.
Presume they would have been having more of it for this, but I had a kid, but yeah, this doesn't make any sense. I'm just going to point this right here, right now. Who's this supposed to be, I wonder? Oh, would you look at that? I think it might be Davy Jones. That doesn't make any sense. He's fucking dead and the curse was broken twice. Curse was broken twice. Yeah, oh wait, it was a nightmare. Maybe.
Yep.
Eh.
Totally just a dream.
Well, in my dreams, it's still the same.
But wait. There's some barnacles left on the
Oh
floor.
dear, it wasn't a dream. And then they never made another movie. Because they tried to make one with, Amber Heard
Margot
and Barbie,
Robbie.
and that, yeah, and that didn't work. Amber Heard and Margot Robbie, and that didn't work. And then they wanted to make one with Margot Robbie and Karen Gillan, and that didn't work. And now they're still talking about making another one, but maybe bringing back Johnny Depp. And at this point, I just say let it lie. Don't bring it back. We don't have to. I like sequels. I like good sequels. I like having things that are like worthwhile. You know? I like having things that are fun
Well,
and
anyway,
interesting.
until then, we will see you tomorrow for Bat Ass.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for cutting me off there, because I was about to go off on another rant about how much I don't like modern day Disney and how much they've ruined my investment in everything they own. Marvel, Star Wars, Pirates,
Spider Man.
Spider-Man, they don't directly own Spider-Man. They've fucked up Spider-Man though. Oh, I mean okay, so in the Spider-Man was fucked up before Disney bought him. They have only contributed to the fucking with Spider-Man, you know?
What
Um
would you? What is the fucking? Is that a sequel to The Happening that is yet to come out?
it's M. Night Shyamalan's adaptation of the Zeb Wells run on Spider-Man.
What's the twist?
That the kids were never real. Paul, you can go fuck yourself. You deserve every ounce of suffering you get.
Get what you fucking deserve.
Warner Brothers
This is
deserve to lose $200 million on the sequel to that film. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
I get how. Hey, Kevin, how does it feel to have all of your favorite franchises and things ruined for you? Because it feels fucking great.